Hello, my Virgos. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of November. And we're going to jump right in here and start off by pulling a card from these chakra reading cards. And this is just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know overall for the entire month of November. Whether it's the type of energy or the theme or just what the Creator wants to give you a heads up on for the month of November. One more time here. There we go. All right, so for our Virgos, what do you want them to know about their month of November, please? Well, they are wanting to go all over the place. Make it really obvious for us, if you will, please. Okay. This is the one that is calling your name. So you've got communication, number 21. Beautiful card there. Looks like that might be the throat chakra, which, of course, also has to do with not just communicating with your vocal cords, but because your arms, when you spread them off to either side straight out, are also at your throat range. So it's about how you communicate, of course, with texting and posting to social media and typing emails and all that, but also through your actions, your outward actions. How are you communicating? So the energy of this card says you have called upon this card to let you know it's an important time for communication. All healthy connections and relationships are built on a solid base of good communication. It's easy to hold back or alter your words in order to prevent hurting someone's feelings, fear of rejection, or the possibility of creating some form of conflict. However, it's important that you share your thoughts and feelings honestly with those around you to create and build long-lasting, healthy relationships. So not walking on eggshells, right? Being honest, not fearing they'll reject you for what you say. Because if someone's going to reject you for what you say, if your intentions are to do it out of love and communication, then if they don't want to be in your life, maybe that's a blessing, right? When you doubt, hinder, or manipulate the flow in communication, this interference blocks the throat chakra and could create a world of suppression and confusion. Holding on to unexpressed thoughts and feelings can lead to pain, confusion, and unhealthy patterns. So take a moment to see if there's anyone in your life you're not communicating effectively with due to fear, rejection, and maybe even unwanted conflict. You're being encouraged at this time to speak up and share your feelings. Communication can also mean writing your feelings down on paper, which is also a good tool to use. Do what is required to action your communication. You may even like to try some healing and clearing processes on your throat chakra. A few great crystals to work with to clear the chakra are blue lace, is it agate? Agate? A-G-A-T-E? I'm sorry, I know I murdered that. Blue kyanite and chrysocolla. Take some time and space for yourself. Place the crystal on your throat chakra and breathe in the crystal's energy, helping it to open and clear. Make sure you're communicating from a place of love and compassion, and that your delivery is clear and centered. Communication is also about listening. Make sure that as you communicate, you also listen with an open heart and without judgment. As you trust, you'll feel a huge weight off your shoulders and a natural healing will occur. You will feel a deeper connection with yourself and those around you. And the affirmation for that card is, I communicate in all ways with ease and grace. So, yeah, definitely a beautiful energy around communication and listening and not pretending to listen while you prepare about what you're going to talk about next. It's always that, they always talk about that when they talk about communication. It's like really actively listen, be interested in what they're saying. Don't turn it around and make it about you. It's like when you truly want to communicate with something, it's actually sincerely being interested in what they have to say, right? So I love that. And then what we're going to do next is what I do each month, at least I have up to this point, is I take a tarot deck and I split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And I'll talk about those in a sec. But the major arcana we're going to use like we did in this card, which is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know overall, just for the month of November. Let's just give it a good shuffle here. Okay, there we go. All right, Creator, so for our Virgo, what else would you like them to know about their month of November, please? Okay, that's the card right there. And you have the Strength card. Go figure. So this is a beautiful, beautiful card. And for me, it is really about having this beautiful connection and communicating to your higher self. Because what this represents, you have the lion on here. That's your human side. That's the one that chose to disconnect from the rest of our self, at least pretend that it's not connected, so it doesn't know our powerfulness. It's disconnected, so it can feel what it might feel like to be powerless instead of powerful, to be limited instead of limitless, to have a retail price put on its worth instead of being priceless. So, this lion comes down here, our human lion side that lives off of fight or flight, that, has this entire human experience. And of course, it's hungry, it's thirsty, it's longing for something, and it's taught that look outside of yourself for that. Look outside to your, relationships you have, whether it's romantic or family or friends or work partners, whatever. This is where you're going to be satisfied, or this situation, whether it's a job or some sort of circumstance you're in, or possessions. If you obtain this and have this much money in this house and this, or this type of body, all these things, this is what's going to make you feel whole and complete and quench your thirst and your hunger. So the lion goes out there, eats of that, and is hungry moments later, because it's only temporary, it's not eternal, it's not fulfilling. It drinks something, it becomes thirstier because it doesn't quench the thirst, it actually makes you even thirstier. And so he ends up, roaring in desperation in the jungle because he's like so thirsty and so hungry. Well, then you have your higher self here, and usually they'll have the infinity symbol somewhere. Oh yeah, it's on her forehead if you look really, really close. That represents our infinite self, our higher self. And of course, that is a being, it's a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And what the lion has really been searching for is to be loved the whole time. That's what it's hungering for. That's what it's thirsting for. And so our higher self hears our smaller self, our human self, roaring, and comes down to comfort it. Comes down to relieve it of that. It doesn't kill it with a sword to relieve it. It doesn't cage it. It doesn't, try to beat it into submission with a whip and chair. What it gives it is what it's been searching for all along, which is the unconditional love that it is. And so it hugs the lion and gives it all that love. And so this roaring lion becomes this purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, just purring, feeling safe, and feeling whole and complete for the first time. And so this is what that real message is really coming with this, from this inner strength that you find. But because this is all about communication, I really feel it's like, yes, making sure you're taking the time to communicate to one of the most important beings in your life, which is your higher self. Because through your higher self is how you connect to the rest of that network up above, all these beautiful beings of unconditional love and light, the creator and spirit, your guardian angels and your spirit guides, your loved ones who have lived on this earth with you and have gone back home, your ancestors, whatever your belief is on these amazing beings of unconditional love and light, that's how you can connect to them, and that's how you can communicate to them. Because when you're connected to that, then you are filled with unconditional love and compassion, and that impacts how you communicate with everyone else too. So I love that. Next, we're going to move into the minor arcana. And so the minor arcana, the 4 suits, are going to represent 4 different areas of your life, 4 different parts of your beingness. And we're going to start off with the wands, which is the fire element. And so for this reading, it's going to represent your spiritual side of you. So your spiritual adventure for November, because the wands are your drive, your ambition, your spark, your aha inspiration, your drive, just that spirit energy within you as well. Okay, just give me a little more shuffle here. There we go. All right, creators. So for our Virgos, what do you want them to know about their spiritual adventure in the month of November? Okay, nope, not all those. That's just me being clumsy. Butterfingers. Okay, this is the one right here. And you have the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands can be, for one, it's like this perseverance. A lot of times it's like you're almost to the end of this adventure. You've been investing so much energy into your life, into your spiritual side even, that you almost feel like, oh gosh, this has been like a forever journey and I'm ready for something new. And so this is a message about persevere, keep going. You're so close to a breakthrough, and really with this communication to your higher self, you're just so close to opening up to just a whole new level of intimacy with your higher self, with friendship to your higher self, to connection to that higher realms. That it's just like, keep going, you're so close. Because the 10 of Wands is when you have the endings and new beginnings when it happens. And so you're just like this close, like keep going. You've got the willpower, you've got the energy, because you're actually holding on to your Ace of Swords, which is your power, your spiritual energy. They're like, you've got it, just focus. Don't focus on what's not happening in your spiritual journey. Don't focus on how drained you feel. Focus on opening up communication. Focus on the positive sides of your energy, and that'll expand it instead of diminish it. We're also going to pull a card here from the Energy Oracle. We're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of November. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Virgos to know about their spiritual adventure, please? Whoa, okay, no. Maybe it's just the cards have a lot of energy. It's not me. I'm not being clumsy today. No, I'm not. Just make it really obvious for us, Creator, please. Okay, there we go. And you got the Temple Path, card number 12. Love that. And we read from the book here, but it definitely, I feel like this is going to your high temple, like the high priestess would. She would be going to the temple to have that temple time, that alone time, that dedicated time. Yeah, spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple and a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's purpose. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple, here, let me show you. So you see all these lights around the temple here. Those lights around your temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. Communicate with them, right? This is a wonderful, life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. Can't make it up. It says it in the cards. In this affirmation for this is, I open my heart to spiritual truth and a deeper connection with spirit. Guidance and inspiration come freely and easily to me. So there you go. There you go. And you got 21, and this is 12. So it's like the mirrored of that, but it does break down to 3 and 3, which is also opens up your creativity. And it reminds me of the Empress too, about this beautiful, wonderful rebirth. She's usually pregnant, but it's about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. And so to get that, it's like one of the biggest things you can do to self-nurture is to connect, because this is your inner strength. That opens up your entire world to a whole new connection, like it says, for assistance. And they won't mess with your free will. They allow you to experience what you want to experience. They'll bring you messages going, hey, just want you to know we're here if you need us. But they won't mess with your free will. So if you ask them of your free will to help me with this, bring me guidance, give me answers, show me signs, something, they definitely will, as long as it doesn't mess with your soul purpose. Sometimes there's things we go through where I need an answer, and they're like looking at the list, and like before you came down there, they were like, well, they did tell us not to tell them anything about this until this date because they need to experience what it feels like to feel out of control. So, they're like, okay, let's just hold off. What we can do for them is this and this and this, so that's how that works. All right, then we're going to move on to the next suit, which is going to be the outside of yourself, which is the Pentacles. That's the element of earth. And so this is going to be representing everything in the physical stage outside of you. So all the other characters you're involved with in this giant play that you're involved in, all the circumstances that you're involved in, like your job, social status, things like that. And then all the physical things like the possessions, you own the props, your money, your home, your car, all that kind of things, including your physical body. So that's what we're going to find out from here. Just see what the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of November. And of course, you are an earth sign, so this is totally your element. So nothing new in these cards for you. You are on this journey. This is like your focus, or the primary focus is your relationship, for your sun sign anyway, to the outside world. So for our Virgos, Creator, what do you want them to know about their physical adventure during the month of November, please? There we go. So you have another 9. So you had 9 of Wands, and you've got the 9 of Pentacles. And this is beautiful because you see her by herself in the garden, which means she's feeling abundance, but she's also feeling self-abundance. So it's not about other people on the outside making her feel abundant. It's about what she's accomplishing in life, but she's feeling within herself. And of course, you always have your trusty weathered friends, which are all your higher connection to the higher realm. They're all there, also showing you the abundance and the fruit that you have. And they actually will even show you what fruit is ripe for the picking. And when you ask them, instead of biting into something like, oh, that's not quite done yet, you can ask them, what's ready, what's ripe for me in my life right now? And like we talked about in this card here, they will definitely show you and answer you if you, of your free will, ask them about it. So it's a very positive card. The Ten of Pentacles after that is when you are feel so much abundance that you actually, it's overflowing out to the world and all those around you, and kind of like this legacy type of card. So you're, just one step away from that. In this, it's all about finding your inner abundance first, which is, what this November month is really focusing in on showing you too, which makes sense as you connect to your higher self. You see things from that higher perspective, and your lion, who was feeling so lacked before, so empty, is now feeling whole and complete. Because it has the best friend of all, the best, sustenance, which is that unconditional love, getting it through your higher self. So I love that. We're also going to pull a card here from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. Just see what else the Creator would like you to know about your physical adventure in November. All right, Creator, what else would you like our Virgos to know? This is the one right there. And you've got Elder. Move beyond ancestral patterns. It's beautiful. Love the energy that comes with that. Love the Aborigine energy and the Aborigine people. They're so beautifully connected to nature. And let's just take a look here. So the Elder, like we talked about, move beyond your ancestral patterns. So this is about move beyond the limitations that have been set for by your family members past and present. Know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. The Aboriginal people are the oldest tribal people still living on the planet. Their hunter-gatherer culture and ancient spirituality are rooted in tradition and balance with the earth. Earth energy, right? So the Aboriginal ancestors are offering you not only wisdom that will help you heal and adapt to the ever-changing planet, but also an understanding of what a spiritual life should be. Well, there you go. The Elder is the ancestor who comes with a message of healing change. He is an embodied soul, yet he has had journeys that go beyond the physical. Therefore, he represents a reclamation of power. When he appears, it's an acknowledgement that you have the capacity to move beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. If you've had expectations of success, failure, sadness, or even sickness placed upon you by your family, it's important to know that you are here to create your own story. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, past, present, and future. Know that you get to decide what you take on. And also know that your ancestors are rooting for you and are sorry for any setbacks they have created for you. So, yeah, definitely in communication with your posse on the other side. Ancestors are among them. And so, yeah, just know that, whether it's ancestors that you knew in this lifetime while you've been living or from the past, that they definitely knew what part they were playing, in their lives, and they knew that this challenges was part of your soul journey as you went through this lifetime. But it still doesn't mean that they're like, oh man, I know this is what it did, and I know it's what you wanted, but we're such loving beings that we are sorry for the challenge that it brought you, even though we know it's what you wanted, right? But they definitely know that you have the ability to move beyond these limiting beliefs, these cycles, and these chains that have been passed down from generation to generation, and that you are the generation that can help stop and transform those cycles into something more beautiful and more in alignment with our higher selves. So I love that. And next we're going to move into the Swords suit, and that is the element of air. So that represents our mind, which is our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations, just everything to do with the mind. So this would be what the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure for the month of November. So for our Virgos, all our Virgos, Creator, what would you like them to know about their mental adventure, please? Okay, it's this one right here. And you've got the Four of Swords, which this is a good card here because this represents like peace of mind and putting your mind to rest. So, usually they'll have like 3 swords above and they're resting upon a 4th sword. And I kind of look at those 3 of swords by themselves out of the 4. The 3 of swords in the minor arcana for me represent expectations. And that's when you usually see like 3 swords going through a heart. So it's about the feeling pain, emotional pain, heartbreak, disappointment, when all those expectations we have, that we've been taught, like that lion has been taught to look outside of himself for fulfillment, and receive disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and blah, 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 continue on there. And so this, the other Ace of Swords that they're usually sleeping on is the, powerful Ace of Swords that brings truth, like capital T truths. It gets rid of the small t truths of the lion and brings in the capital T large truths of our bigger self. And so it moves away these expectations, because when it brings truth, it shines light onto these untruths that we have, and that we're able just to let them go because we see the truth for what it is. And because of that, it brings more and more peace to our mind. The more and more we connect to our higher T truths, it allows the small T truths of our lion. Don't go out there. You don't need to go out here. That's just fast food that'll go right through you. It's like American Chinese food. Moments later, I think I ate an hour ago, but I'm starving. It's like that's the way the outside world expectations work with fulfilling our hunger and our wholeness. So I love that this is this peace of mind, and that you're removing these expectations. You're seeing the new truths that are coming in and these new ideas, and you're open to this higher knowledge and higher wisdom. We're also going to pull a card here from the numerology cards, and this is going to also represent what the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure in the month of November. All right, what else would you like our Virgos to know about their mental adventure, please? Okay, I feel like this is the one right here. Surrender. Yep, surrender all those expectations, right? Surrender all the supposed to be's, the should be's, the needs to's, the have to's, the outcomes, blah, blah, blah. All of that fun stuff that brings us so much anxiety, right? So this card indicates a need to surrender your attachment to a particular situation or a preferred outcome because your inability to let go is impeding your success. Desperation blocks manifestation. Let me say that again. I love that. Desperation, which is the desperation of the lion I talked about, blocks manifestation. Therefore, the more you struggle to attract your desire, the more you push it away. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to detach from the situation and surrender the outcome to the divine. In order to attract what you want, you must give the universe space to deliver your request. This can only be achieved by getting out of the way so that everything can unfold as it should. It isn't your job to make it happen. It's simply your job to allow it to happen. When you surrender the outcome to the divine, you let the magic flow. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to let go, trust, and surrender. Make peace with your life as it is today and appreciate what you already have. When you do what brings you joy rather than fret about the end result, divine order and timing will bring the perfect outcome your way. And the affirmation for this card is, I receive the best possible outcome when I surrender to the divine. Perfect. Not more I can add to that. All right. And then we're going to move on to the final suit, which is the suit of cups, which is the water element. And that, of course, means our emotions. So this will be what the Creator wants us to know about our emotional adventure in the month of November. All right. Creator for Virgo. What do you want them to know about their emotional adventure for November? Yep, 10 of Cups, which is bliss. Bliss, baby, bliss. And you have 9 and 1 is 10. Endings and new beginnings. Endings and new beginnings. New emotion coming in. Definitely this is like that feeling of bliss, which, when that lion gets that beautiful unconditional love from its higher self, that what it feels and why it's falling asleep, feeling safe and secure and totally loved, purring on her lap, it's because she's feeling bliss and contentment and wholeness and completeness. So that's definitely what we feel. That's what we feel on the other side, just complete ultimate contentment and feeling just this wholeness, no emptiness, no lack in us whatsoever. That's what this 10 of Cups is, just this beautiful emotional feeling of every cup is full and overflowing in your life. So that's what happens when we surrender, definitely. So I'm not surprised that came up for that. And then the final card we're going to pick is from the Angel Guide Oracle. And this can either mean, what else the Creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure. But we're just going to treat it like a wild card, since it's the last card for this reading. Whatever the Creator wants you to know about the month of November. Boom. Wild card. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Virgos to know? Okay, there we go. No. Just say no. And I love that. I'll read from the book here, but I just feel like it's the power of saying no. The power of no is such an important piece. Yes, sometimes that means, when we ask them for help and they tell us no, it's like, well, that's not the answer I wanted, but we trust that it's still for our highest experience and it's happening for us, not happening to us. We're not being punished and just, because they want to see us suffer. They're not that way. If they tell us no, then we're like, okay, I trust you. We can trust them. We can trust that unconditional love. And so when they say no, boom, we take it. But also is the power that we have to say no to things that no longer serve us, right? Like we're talking about these expectations, these things that no longer serve, that we can let go And we have that power, and we don't even have to give an excuse, to people. I did mention, communication. That's it's nice that, we want to make it an easier choice for someone not to get, butthurt about our decision of no. So if they're like, hey, do you want to go do something? And I'm like, no, that of course is going to make it harder for them not to take that personally. But if we're like, what, I can't that weekend, but what about we do something, blah, blah, blah. If you do want to spend time with them, you give them an alternative. And so that lets them feel, okay, it's not personal. They do want to do something with me. And so it helps them, for a moment anyway, feel like they're loved, because until they also connect to their higher selves, they're not going to experience anything but disappointment eventually in what you give them. As well as that's what we usually get from other people eventually, is disappointment, right? Because we're asking of others the only thing that we can give ourselves, which is that unconditional love, right? Okay. So it says, no. Your angels are drawing close at this time to help you recognize that the answer to the question on your mind is no. This is not the time to proceed. You may want to, but you're being encouraged to see beyond the current situation and understand that following through on your ideas may have a negative effect on the whole course of your life. Angels are swooping in because they want to save the day and save you a lot of heartache from a choice that is not heart-centered. If you're feeling upset or annoyed by this guidance, that's okay. You're allowed to have an emotional response. But in truth, there will be a part of you that already knows that what you are considering isn't the best use of your energy. Do not make plans. Do not move forward. Retreat and reflect. Think deeply. Seek the advice of those you love and trust, and ask them to help you get to the bottom of the question, or issue, or decision that is before you. Do not make any sudden moves. This card is coming in to help you sustain your mental, your emotional, and spiritual energy and stay on the road to wholeness. I love it. Yeah, so definitely communication is really all about communicating with your higher self. I mean, there's so much about that in your reading here. It's definitely, getting in tune and taking that time, surrendering all the outcomes, surrendering the result, whether it's a no or a yes or whatever it might be, just allowing the flow to happen and go with the flow and not resisting what unfolds, and just communicating, spending your energy on the thing that matters the most during this month, which is communication to your higher source, your higher self, to that whole posse of people, those beings of powerful, supernatural, unconditional love and light on the other side. They have so much love and support for you, and so much wisdom, if we'll ask, right? Beautiful. I love this for you. I'm going to leave it there, and just know as you're going through each and every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. I also like to let everyone know that in addition to the monthly readings, I also do weekly zodiac element readings by each of the 4 elements. I also do like new moon and full moon readings by zodiac sign. And so all those playlists are out there. But if you haven't yet and you want to be notified of when those come out, just make sure to hit the subscribe button and then the little bell, and then you'll be notified when those come out. So, until next time, hang in there, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.